minute.
We all brought up faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. We all brought up faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Good morning and welcome to the Hard Luck Show. I'm your certified host, Steve Lucky Luciano. You know what it is. I got the Indian over there,
Chumahan.
and I got old Blue Eyes.
That's right.
And we are here with another episode for you tonight, or today, excuse me, this morning. We've got a guest for you, reoccurring guest. It's my perro, my camarada, Mr. Pablito in the house. Welcome back, Pablito.
What's going down?
What's up?
El
Good,
Maestro.
El Maestro.
Good to see everyone again.
Yeah. Before we get going, big shout out from Esteban. Oreo told me to tell Pablito. I said, what's up, man?
Man, Esteban, man, likewise, you know.
Yeah, man.
Always a pleasure with that guy, you know.
Yeah. What's up, Pablito?
He's a buck.
Yeah, he is. Man, we had such a good show. There was such a good reception to your last show.
Right.
The downloads. People were really
It went into the Hard Luck Hall of Fame.
The
That
Hard Luck
show.
Hall of Fame.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, bro.
Really?
And people were,
Look at
you know,
that
if you're
party.
listening right now, you got to go back and listen to Pablito's show. Pablito had a long history, worked with Ruthless Records.
Right.
Played a big part with Jerry Heller.
Told an amazing Jerry Heller check story.
A man, dude.
Right.
Jerry
Big
Heller,
check.
NWA, Eazy. Worked real closely with Brownside and Toker, rest in peace, and just like on and on with legendary LA music, iconic stories, man.
That
History.
was, just
You
to
know,
remind
and-
people, that was episode 350.
Episode 350.
Wow.
And
320. I'm
320,
sorry.
excuse me. Episode 320. Check that one out. And, you know, moved into like current day,
Right.
what he's doing in TV, film. Just a lot of shit, man. What's going on, G?
Yeah. What's going on?
Man, just trying to keep busy as always, you know.
Right.
It's good to see you guys. You know?
Yeah, it's good to
Yeah,
see
likewise,
you, man.
You know, and the spot and everything you guys are doing. I'm happy for you guys. Just trying to keep busy, you know, just the same old, just everyday hustle, you know. Just,
Hey, I got a quick question for a guy that's been around music and everything, and it was something that we kind of talked about, and you may or may not have an opinion on or some thoughts, but it seems like Blue Eyes, I think, brought it up. It seems like a lot of young artists or artists in LA, it's gotten maybe more dangerous now than it's ever
Oh,
been
for sure.
before.
I mean, it's
always been dangerous.
It's always been dangerous, but it just seems like, I don't know, it's just they're just so much bolder now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
and
a lot of areas that normally this one happened before, like for example, like Beverly Hills. You know, I know some old Jewish cats I go see in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Every so often, and I kibitz with them, and they tell me, hey, you know what? You know, we see stuff going around here that we ain't never seen or never even thought of be happening around here. And I was like,
right.
you know, it's like, wow, you know.
Right.
bold.
The last thing that happened that I saw on the news myself was at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Yeah.
Right? Who was it? Blue Eyes?
PNB.
Rock.
P&B Rock.
PNB
Yeah.
Rock got shot at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and then
Robbed and shot.
and then like 24 hours later, Roscoe's was back open again, and it was like, all right, well, we're selling some more chicken and waffles.
I remember they shot him, and then Rob took his stuff.
Man.
You know, he didn't want to give it up. I mean, from what I
Right. That's what I heard.
was, you know.
So
gathered,
maybe the lesson or the takeaway from that is like maybe it might not be it might be hard to do from a ego standpoint, but maybe you just gotta give it up and, you know, live for another day.
I mean, you know, you could give it up and stay alive. You know what I mean?
They can
Right.
take it off your alive body, or they can take it off your dead body.
Straight
What
up.
do you want?
Either or.
Right.
You know, they're gonna take it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know what's crazy is that they're making a big deal about his girl, and I'm not even gonna comment on all that. I just
Right.
saw what she posted.
Uh-huh.
And it was just a picture of a plate of what Roscoe's is famous for. And it's not like there was a picture of her and him with the plate or
Right.
him doing this or nothing. It was just a plate and like we're at Roscoe's grubbing. That's what I saw and gathered from that. But they're so, they're so on, they're out there just waiting for her. They could read between that and say, okay, well, we need to go down there right quick.
Wow.
And the fact that, you know what is crazy too is I had reposted like a game song from 7 years ago where he talks about
Those same type of lyrics.
going to, he straight up says going to Roscoe and get shot for your shit.
Right.
Careful. Yeah,
Did he really say that?
word for word.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Listen
his
to it.
lyrics. The lyrics are careful when you come down to Roscoe's because you'll get shot or robbed for your shit.
Right.
It's the kid. Now I'm not gonna say I'm not for real familiar with him
Right.
and his lyrics, and I don't know that he was playing, doing the whole lyrics as a tough guy. I'll go shoot you and all that.
Right.
But what he was very flaunty with a lot of jewelry.
Right.
How you would come to L.A. running around with your girl and have no security,
Right.
wearing that type of jewelry and really being about all that real like flaunty stuff. I don't get it, man. In this day and age, I think you're really asking for problems, wearing all that out here.
Big time problems, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Come on.
And
This is L.A.,
Well, when I think like a year ago, or maybe in some other stuff, I was reading that he had said, like, I can't remember where he was originally from. Right, he was from some other state or whatever.
Absolutely, he's not from here.
Right, and when he came out here,
Philly, isn't he?
Yeah.
yeah,
Philly.
maybe it was
Yeah,
Philly. He
Philly.
said in Philly they're kind of sneaky, but he said in
It's
L.A.
Philly, yeah.
they're real bold. And even for him, he said that before all this ever happened. So it does make you wonder, like, why wouldn't you take perhaps maybe better precaution?
Yeah.
But I mean, so I guess what you're saying though is that because Blue Eyes was saying that you kind of know that the music business has been somewhat dangerous always to a certain extent. But what Blue Eyes was saying was like he was trying to tabulate how many people in LA alone, musicians, have been killed in just this year.
I mean, when you say always and this and that, let me put something together for you.
Yeah.
If Marvin Gaye was walking around in South Central or anywhere having a bite to eat, do you think anybody was going to come up and kill?
No.
Man,
I don't
If
know.
Sammy
Wait,
Davis Jr.
Pablito,
if
what do you
Sa-
think?
No way.
Right.
So if Sammy Davis Jr. were at a hotel in LAX, or do you think somebody would go up and kill him?
What about
No.
Lionel Richie?
Lionel Richie?
Would anybody try to kill him?
What
No.
about Richard Pryor? What
No.
about
No.
like? Think about, and I'm
Damn.
talking about big
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
none of
Murphy.
them.
No,
No.
nobody's gonna. Those people are like, those are stand-up people representing your people, man. Like they're
Right.
doing good, and there was almost like a, no, man. That, and I don't see that. Stevie Wonder's blind. I think Stevie Wonder could go wherever. Somebody
Roscoe.
gonna come up and take
Yeah.
a chain and shoot Stevie Wonder?
No.
No fucking way, man.
No
Right.
way.
So,
But-
the
but
music
those
industry
guys-
always being dangerous, I don't think that's really the case. I think.
What
in the
about
last-
James Brown if he was alive? Would people have gone up and killed James
I
Brown?
don't think so. I don't think so.
No way.
I don't think so, man.
But we're also talking about guys that
But James Brown also had a side of him where he was out there smoking PCP and doing
Oh,
crazy,
yeah.
scandalous shit.
on
so
a
that's
good
a
one.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
a different. Come on, and I think even because of who he was, people wouldn't do that to him. But you get what I'm saying?
I
down.
saw
He was
him
down.
on an
Yeah.
interview where
Oh, you
he
see
was
that
high
video?
as
Yeah.
fuck on coke or something because the lady was like, it was a white woman.
It was the PCP.
It was like an 80s white woman with big hair interview him like a Barbara Walters type, and she's like, "Why do the ladies like you?"
great movie.
Because I could get down,
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
because I can
I
fucking
saw
fuck or
That
something
movie,
like
that
that.
movie's great, man.
But-
I saw that
Movie's great,
interview.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's fucking the best.
So I don't know that it was always dangerous. I mean,
But those guys were bigger than life, though. So we're also talking about a different
Icons.
type of
Fucking-
celebrity.
okay, you can
Icons.
also now also let's also talk about because you can say icon.
Yeah.
And you can talk about Pac and
Right.
Biggie
Oh,
being
that's
iconic,
true.
right?
That's
But
true.
those you got to remember
That's true.
those guys weren't being robbed.
Well, that's true too.
They
No,
weren't. No.
nobody was robbing those dudes.
No, except for their life.
Yes,
Right. That's right.
those dudes were getting hit. They were getting killed. Was the
Well,
operative right
they
there.
were
What
getting
about the
hit.
time
Exactly.
in New York?
We're talking about California though.
Yeah, we're talking about California.
You know,
Oh.
and when they yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we're talking about California.
And I think that might have been like I think maybe that was the first wave, if you want to go back to then, of like rappers getting killed for their jewelries or shot for their jewelries. I think that was kind of early on, that Pac situations. I'm not saying that rappers, people weren't getting up and taking your chains and shit. That's always been going on. That was going on when I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? The high schoolers would come down to junior high and they'd be snatching motherfuckers' chains like that. Okay, but it's just I don't know, man.
But part of it
now it seems very, very dangerous. I don't know. When I was a kid growing up and rap was starting, I didn't see Houdini or like these fucking rappers like, oh, dude, there's a good chance that he's going to wind up getting killed. That was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it's like inverted a little bit because, and maybe Pablito can speak a little bit to this to a certain extent. So with the music, the rap music, it seemed like you had this like you were saying, Houdini consciousness or like new art form stuff. Then there became an aspect of, well, we want something that's got some credibility or some element of danger to it, music. And so, okay, so they're talking about what street life is really like, right? We're going to tell you how it really is from whatever community that we're coming from. And you had that, and I don't know if it was even as dangerous as it is now in that. And now it seems like it's inverted. It's almost like you get a lot of people that are coming through that are artists that are trying to tell this story, but they might not be the firsthand witnesses or have actually been from that situation. And I don't know, Pablito, can you see a shift in those dynamics, or what do you see?
I mean, I just see, regardless of, what it is, that, Ice-T made a perfect comment a while ago. He says, look, when you're coming to L.A., he warned everybody, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because look what has happened since he said that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. He broke it down to everybody. And what he says, the God honest truth. And if you don't want to accept that, I don't know if you're not going to prepare for that or be ready for that, I don't know what to tell you. You're just going to come over here and become a victim.
Right.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Right. That's true. It's a different league.
Yeah.
And I almost want to say, like, people are like, well, NWA is talking about gang banging and this and that. But there's a difference when you're the guy out in front doing that, and there's not a history and wave behind you that's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? They were almost saying it, speaking out and sharing
Right.
what their experience had
Reporting.
been for the people. Right.
Right.
Play by play.
Right.
Right.
What's going on now is different.
Right.
It's different. And you got a lot of people that haven't lived that, and they're just out there saying that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's popular.
And I think what you just said really resonates with me because it makes it seem like, so you had reporters, let's say, that were actually tied to the community, and the community themselves saw some value in the reporting.
Absolutely, because they're like, damn, somebody's finally speaking out about what's going on here.
Versus a
Poser.
well,
Braggadocious.
or just like somebody who's just put in the spot, but he's not really connected to anything, and so
There's a
Horrifying.
lot of those.
certain communities don't feel any loyalty or
At all.
any connection. So why
Right.
not rob that fool? Why not? He's not from here.
And-
He's not speaking on what we went
And
through.
some of them are just getting straight smoked, whether they got anything on them or not. They're just getting killed out of straight hate.
That's the crazy thing, because that's true. You know what I mean? A lot of those guys, their mindset is just to smoke them or whatever, to come up on something after the fact, whether it's a wad or a watch or a wallet or a chain. That's after the fact.
They went
They're
to
there
go
to smoke.
kill that. What
Yeah.
was the dude at the cookie store?
Yeah.
Right.
The guy that stopped to get. They've been trying to shoot that motherfucker. They weren't out to rob him. The
Right.
two dudes came out and were going to kill him.
Wow.
Right.
I believe that.
You know?
Yeah, man.
It's and as the case unfolds, it was like some real hater. Like there's a lot of that stuff going on.
Right.
You know, like they just motherfuckers want to tear you down, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's very different, and I'm telling you, man. You know, when Pac got shot and Pac got killed, that was like major fucking like what the fuck. And then Biggie gets like, God damn, what's now? It's just.
It's not as shocking.
No, man, and it's
It's
lousy.
kind of like, you know what's crazy now that you put it in
How
that-
is it that a rapper is the most deadly fucking
Do you know that now that you put it
profession to be
in that sort of
An entertainer's like the most. Dude, what the hell, dude? Like, come on, think about that shit.
when you put it in that term, right? It does start to sound like maybe something in society has changed in a sense of the hate or the desire to destroy as a way of possessing because you don't have starts to, it's not exactly the same, but it starts to sound a little bit like what these other folks do in these mass shootings or whatever, where it's like you're targeting and you're trying to destroy something that represents something else, something to you. You're doing something that's maybe senseless to the general public. In which case, for you, why would you, like you were saying, why would you want to do that? Which is completely different than maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
I mean, look how many rappers have been killed in the last X amount of, what, 5 years, 7
let's
years?
say 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, look how many.
Right.
And if you were to say the last 3 years, it's exponentially higher than the last 5 years.
Right. And what's
That's
even crazy,
crazy.
it's how many of these folks that got killed in Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, how many of them reach a level of Pac in terms of sales and records and fame? How many of those dudes are even at that level and they're
Not
getting
even.
killed? Right.
Not even nowhere
Not
close.
close,
to it. Yeah.
sorry.
And getting killed.
But and I'll tell
On
you
their way,
anything.
well on their way, but it just gets cut short, unfortunately, you know.
Yeah.
Sad, you know.
And the other is, and I gotta say this, man. I gotta say it as somebody that's not an African American, not a black person, but I gotta say this, and that's that. A lot of these robberies and a lot of these killings,
Yeah.
like they wouldn't necessarily go and do that to a white person.
Man, that's really true.
Think about that, man. Like
that's really
there's
true.
almost a disregard. Listen, man. I remember Nipsey one time said in a rap, he broke it out. It wasn't even a rap song. He was doing an interview, and he goes, "When we're out gangbanging, he goes, when we go look to go for an enemy or go shoot, he goes, I'm bypassing the white dude. I'm
Right.
bypassing the Mexican dude. I'm
Right.
bypassing the nerdy black guy. I'm going to go shoot who looks like me.
Right.
It's crazy.
I'm going to go kill who looks like me and looks like me and gets down like me. That's who's out. So when you think about the psychology of that,
That's heavy, huh?
it is heavy, bro.
It is.
It's
Because
heavy.
Chicanos could say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna bypass the brother, the white guy, all that.
Everybody.
They're trying to kill their
Because-
own, the guy that does what I do, that looks like me.
One of the maxims of psychology is that you don't get envious or competitive with people who are not like you. You're in separate categories, so you're not competing. You compete with versions of you. So if that one is in your category and they're ahead of you, you feel the sting. White person's got a fucking Cadillac. You're not tripping because they're in a completely different category and the assumptions are different.
Well, I also think that if you were, and I'll just say it, I won't even go to like to black. I'll just say like brown on brown.
Yeah.
Well, you know that probably that crime's not going to get investigated real deep.
Oh, that's
that
true.
the society doesn't really care about another brown dude dying.
Right.
So I'm going to stay within those lines of what, you know what I'm saying?
It's almost as if the establishment has put some tacit rules together that guarantee that if you just keep it within your own,
Right.
you might get away with it.
I mean, it's happening every day.
Yeah. I remember I had a crim case.
Every day.
I had a crim case in Koreatown, and I remember asking the cop, I go, how come everyone, you cop, you all know there's this weird prostitution shit going on in Koreatown. How come you're busting my guy? Like, why aren't you shutting all this down? And the cop, who was a Korean-American cop, he said, because everybody in the city knows the shit goes down here, but we keep it here. So they just let it happen here. And only when it affects somebody else does it really get any attention. He said that to me.
And it's organized in that area.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That culture, they run their people, and they run that business there.
Yep.
You know, and the cops know it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like you said, they just keep it there. They don't want it everywhere else and to be known.
And damn, dude, and a lot of these murders of these rappers, they ain't getting caught.
Yeah.
Think about they ain't. Think about that shit. And you're only hearing about some of these big ones. That shit's
Right.
happening in all sorts of small communities. These little rappers just in the Bay, Stockton, Philly.
Or out in the sticks, wherever.
Yeah, dog.
That's true.
And you ain't hearing shit about it. They get
No.
away with it.
Yeah.
Yet, oh yeah, there's cameras everywhere. You can't do this. You can't do that. Snitches but motherfuckers are getting away. I mean,
It's true.
damn, dude, there's
It's true.
a gang of shit, dog. You know?
Yeah, and you know what else? With a lot that goes along with it, when the police want to juke the stats, so the mayor looks good or whoever looks good, what crimes do you think that they redefine or say, well, we don't really know what that is, or what ones do you think they keep off the books so it looks like crime's going down?
Yeah.
The heavy ones, probably.
The white ones. Yeah.
It's exactly
Right.
what's going on.
Right.
And they juke those stats all the time.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it.
'Cause that means money.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to meaning money. It's a lot different, huh, man?
It really is, you know. It's just crazy. It's just another world, you know. Everything's changing, you know, just everything.
What do you think about where we are musically, Pablito? Like, do you feel like there's going to be a new turn or something else is going to pop that we haven't really thought of yet?
Well, everything gets like recreated, if you ask me. What's really been done that hasn't been done over and over again, but just in a different form or
Right.
atmosphere, whatever you want to call it. You know?
Right.
I mean, honestly, it's just, yeah, something's going to come. Something's going to be big and come and be the next big thing, and groups and the whole nine, this and that and other. But what's really, really hard that I, you know, realized after all these years, because everything changes. Now we're doing what? We're on Spotify, it streams, it's just, you know, but, and, you know, we got to move with the times first and foremost. But I've learned with dealing with, you know, top executives in this business and like, and in the music industry, and speaking, and it's sad because you could be the dopest artist and have the dopest music. I mean, really the dopest shit. Like you know when you hear that one song. I mean, you've been listening to music for years, but that one song just hits you, and you're like, oh, what's this? You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you don't have any, it's a numbers game now, man. You know what I mean? It's sad. It's really sad. You know, if you don't have 2 million followers on the gram, or
They don't want to fuck with you.
they won't even look at you.
What is, and now this is a hard look exclusive, Pablito, go into that mental vault, that mind vault of yours, gold, where all the gold's kept. What would be a song or a music group that you love that is kind of embarrassing for you to admit? Because you've been with some of the coolest shit in the world.
I mean, I wouldn't be embarrassed about really any of it. You know what I mean?
But is there one where you know people would be like, Pablito listens to that? Wayne Newton? Really? Is there one in there where you're like, it's a country song, I can't live?
Just honestly, there's probably too many.
Yeah. If you really know what's up, there's a bunch.
There's too many. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if you're a music cat like me, you know what I mean. You're gonna know them all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that's just the way that is, you know, and of all genres.
Right.
You know, from the achy breaky dance to, you know, I mean, we could go on and on and on. We could hit them all. You know, we could hit all realms. You know.
Big Lux, what do you got that you're like? I mean, are you ever listening to Boot Scootin' Boogie? Is there any? You got a weird one in there that you're like, I don't know.
I mean, there's probably like, some Bee Gees shit from.
Come on.
No, that's
That's
maybe-
classic.
cool. Yeah,
Oh,
don't give me
man.
that.
That's classic,
Staying
though.
alive.
Yeah,
That's kind of
good urban
embarrassing.
cowboy.
That's
shit.
100 million seller. You know. What
Yeah. I mean, shit.
Like the Impossible Dream. You know.
No, I don't really know. Like, people always trip out when I tell them that I like Arcade Fire. Stuff
Right.
like that, bro.
Right.
You know, I'm not embarrassed to admit that I think they're one of the
Oh, Blue
greatest,
Eyes. Come on, man.
man. Come
What do
on,
you
man.
mean?
Save.
dude.
Come on.
I
tell
mean,
us,
I
the
listen
Beach
to all
Boy
kinds
shit.
of weird shit, bro.
man. All right.
But no, I mean, like when Taylor Swift came out, I love Taylor Swift, bro.
You do.
Oh yeah.
All
There
right.
you
fuck
go.
with Taylor
There you
Swift.
go.
All
There
right.
you go.
All right, I'm gonna tell you mine then. See, all you guys are fucking cool.
Yeah.
I
We're
ain't
probably-
fucking cool.
We probably dig yours.
I am a huge fan, and I listen to it often. Not when I'm working out.
Hmm.
Okay, I won't go that far, but I do listen to it. The soundtrack from Aladdin.
Bro.
I
you
swear,
fucked up.
the
Yeah.
genie, the genie song.
Our fucking listeners are gonna. We're gonna use the listeners behind that guy shit. Can you edit that out?
No,
That's not
leave
good.
it in.
And
That's
I'm
the
gonna tell you the
truth.
truth.
Go ahead.
I've never even heard that.
Yeah, man, I'll be honest too, dog.
honestly,
That
I haven't.
shit
Well,
ain't
you're
like-
missing
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You're missing out.
Yeah,
Sorry,
man.
I thought you guys loved music.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
admit that shit
I
right
didn't
here
say
and now.
Aladdin,
I
you
don't
know.
get Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah, cartoon.
That ain't even some real
Yeah.
shit.
Cut-
That's like
I mean, it's better than half the shit that's out there right
Yeah.
now. I'll tell you right now, friend like me, fucking Robin Williams. Let's go.
okay.
I admit that shit. I know every word of that song. I can fucking do lip sync that shit right now.
You know what I'm starting to hear just recently is I'm starting to hear just
Little
on
Mermaid?
that just on that topic that we're talking about. I'm starting to hear that I am beginning to hear the bubbling of people like saying, artists saying, I'm sick of like all the gangster shit and all the violence. Like, is there anything else to rap about? And then I'm beginning to see artists that are taking a whole different approach.
Right.
I mean, there's guys that are so dope, bro, that aren't talking about any of that.
Why not?
I mean, like,
You know what I mean?
Spitta Andretti, Currency, dudes like that. Like, there's guys that are like really creative and they're dope, and their lyrics are not about all that shit. I don't know. I was in the studio listening to Burner, and
Right.
he's not talking about all that. Like, good, dope music, and I think that it's gonna take two things. I think it's gonna take people that are not afraid to be alone,
right.
take a chance,
Right.
and it's also gonna go back to like who's really creative,
Right.
who's really, really creative to start turning some of this music stuff around.
What
It
is
stands out. Yeah.
one of the
Who's not afraid to stand out and be
Exactly.
different? You know?
Well, so one of the things that seems like American music has always done has always been rebellious, right? Like at some point you have a music form, and then at some point someone stands out and they want to rebel against whatever the current norm is. And you see that, sort of going from the sort of, like into blues, into rock, into punk, these turns where people are trying to rebel against an accepted form. And I feel like with hip hop, we're entering that zone where it's like when churches start, emulating hip hop music, when Christians start grabbing hold, and I'm not down on all Christians, I'm just saying when the church starts doing it, that's when it's hit some peak level of acceptance.
That's pretty big, yeah.
Right. So the question then becomes, what would be rebellious to gangster rap? What is something that
Peace. I mean, fucking the opposite. Like the opposite. You know.
what is the
Complete
opposite of what is the opposite?
Opposite is like inclusion.
Unity. Yeah, inclusion.
Yeah.
Inclusion. You know, coming together. I mean, as goofy as it sounds, but like, why should it sound goofy?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Why should it?
I mean, there was a love movement in the fucking 60s and 70s, and you
it was
hear
big.
fucking Lennon talking about "Love Is It." Those were hit songs.
Barry White.
Yeah. Oh, and then love songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, man,
You've seen certain urban artists try to put a love hit like rap song together. You've seen every once in a while, like 50 Cent, 22 Questions or whatever, and it almost kind of hits, and then but somehow it never quite overtakes. I'll ask this to you two gentlemen. Is there something in the form of that art that disallows romance?
I don't think so. It's just the way you put it down. You know what I mean? It's how you spit it. You know, how you see it and visualize it and captivate it and put it over a fat track.
Right.
You know.
Right.
what's going on with the music game in the Latin market?
They got great music.
I
bro.
mean, honestly, their numbers are stronger than their numbers are stronger than country music.
Right.
I mean, you look at the Latin. Let's say the Latin. I could put some videos up on YouTube right now. That I could find probably 6 off the top of my head right now. They're all in the billions.
Right.
Billions.
They got better singers.
Let me tell you something. Just with the handful of reggaeton artists that are out there right now, the ones that are big and making those big power moves, you put all their views together, and it squashes any other genre. All hip hop. Put Drake, put them all, everybody together. I don't care.
Right.
Put them together, I said,
Right.
and still won't be able to touch the Latin numbers. So you got to understand, it's not just United States. You got Latin America,
Latin is bigger.
Uruguay, and Paraguay, and Bolivia, and Costa Rica, and Chile, and
All the way down Argentina.
yeah. You know what I mean?
It's a bigger community.
Huge. It dwarfs everything.
And my experience of Latin families, because I'm in one, is that their listening habits are a lot different than American habits, traditional American habits. So my mother-in-law and my wife, they're in 2 different generations. They listen to the same new music, and everybody fucking dances.
Yeah, you see kids and grandfathers all listening to the same music
And dancing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that makes a bigger number as well, because it's cross-generational just by the way it's built.
I mean, in these neighborhoods in L.A., you drive down one block on a weekend,
Yeah.
there's 4 or 5 bandas playing in the backyard. There's 4 or 5 huge parties going
Right.
Yeah.
on every block. It's crazy,
And there's a lot of musicianship in all these Latin families. Like, everybody knows
In the
to
culture.
how to play a guitar. Everyone's relative knows how to sing a little bit. They all have some kind of thing, and they can play some stuff together at these family gatherings. I've been at ones where they're not even a band. They're not a banda. They're just, this is Uncle so-and-so plays guitar, so-and-so, da-da-da, and they get together and jam all the time.
That's dope, yeah.
It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
There's no reason that other Americans can't have a life like that. There's no reason for it. And it's so much more fun. Like, it's just way more fun.
It's way more inclusive too.
Right. Right. Everything's so atomized in the modern American society. Everybody's so separate. Everybody's sort of compartmentalized. Everybody's, unable. Kids. Like,
Not at those parties.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
the time of your life.
Right.
I want to also say that there's a lot to that where there's still a family importance and unit to a lot of, I got to just be honest, man, to the Latin culture in general. It's more intact.
It is.
The fabric of a family is much more intact.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I'll tell you from where I'm. So the American model originally, like coming from the 50s, was sort of like, okay, so the children grow up, then they go away from the family. They get their own,
they put their parents in fucking senior homes, and it's all separatized.
yeah, and they go off and they start their families separately, right? And then but the problem is that at that time in the 50s, an individual person, like a young couple that were of the mainstream culture, they could earn enough to buy a house, be self-supporting, have some kids, buy a car, right? The system was set up to allow those types to be able to go off and build this thing on their own. Whereas people of color, right, in those times, all had to live together. It was part because there's family bonds, but it was also because economics. Right. And I think
straight out,
right? Where we're at today is that mainstream Americans are no longer at that. The economics are such that adult children are living still with their parents, right? Their parents are convalescing at the house. So now there's no job. And then the mainstream kid is like, well, my job is I'm taking care of mom, right? And then eventually mom kicks the bucket. Now they become the signer on mom's accounts. And you're not able to build wealth. It's actually draining out. I mean, that's kind of what
it's a matter of time, yeah.
Right. It's kind of. I mean, that's essentially what King Charles and Queen Elizabeth is. He never left home, and now he's the signer on the account. But that's how it is for a lot of Americans. They can't go out and buy a house anymore. They can't do all this other stuff, which is where people in the Latin community or other communities, that was their reality for a very long time. That's why they have these deep networks. That's why they have support. That's why they have a unity that's different. And the mainstream American model is completely dead. It's fucking deader than dead. People have what used to be like regular jobs that don't pay anything. Right. When fast food in California, when the minimum salary or wage or whatever is $20 an hour.
Yeah, Wendy's.
What does that tell you? If $20 an hour is the lowest that the state is like, you're gonna make this guy fucking make Filet-O-Fish, you gotta give him at least $20 an hour. What does that tell you where we're at economically?
I thought they were trying to raise it to 22 recently.
They might even be trying to raise it to 22.
I thought I saw 22. I was like, oh wow.
How many people you know,
22.
Sean, have a job that pays more than $22 an hour?
I have no idea.
Right. Think about like, okay, so that's fast food. You're working at the pavilions. How much is a guy working there stocking pavilions?
16, 17 bucks an hour.
Right.
Maybe
math.
18 if you're lucky.
Right. How are you going to fucking buy anything in Los Angeles, California, anywhere?
On that, yeah.
And then people go, oh, I'll move to Wyoming. Yeah, but when you go to Wyoming, fucking it's $8 an hour. You can't afford shit working at a grocery store there either.
That's true.
Right? So I think this is where maybe this idea of the unity. Go ahead. Go ahead. Please tell me.
Because I want to think almost to, okay, let's go back to like the 50s.
Go ahead.
When you drive down the street in the 50s, maybe you had a burger place that people all went to.
Right.
A burger place, right?
Like a drive-in.
Right. That was like, and then maybe there was like one or two cool restaurants. But you primarily everybody ate at home and but you'd go to the burger place once. Oh yeah, there's a fried chicken place too that we can go to over there.
Right, diners.
Maybe
right?
a drive-in or something.
But it wasn't. There wasn't
Diners.
20
right
at your corner, right? But there's also 5 coffee shops,
right?
Starbucks. There's like there's just so much of that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
that it moves like it
On
moved
every
everything out.
corner.
That's the primary workforce now. Is these that right? The guy that was working at the burger
It's
place
on
was
every-
only working at the burger place
Look, you walk on
for the
you
summer, right? He was working at the burger
Yeah.
place for the summer, right?
Now he's been
While he
there
was
for-
going to high school,
now
it
he's
wasn't
been there
meant to
for
be like
17 years.
Yeah.
right, or it
He's
was
retiring from there.
right, or the burger place was
Wrist
like,
guards from getting fucking tendonitis from flipping burgers.
or the burger place was like the husband and wife and the
Right.
kids, and they were making all the profits.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they were actually able to live if they did some business.
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
Right.
For sure.
The
Yeah.
guy handed the business down to his kid if
Yeah.
he wanted, right?
Right.
No problem, yeah.
No problem.
And the kid was
But it
crying. He
wasn't-
wanted to do something else.
They
I play
weren't-
guitar.
They
Dad.
weren't like, oh, you know what? I got a donut shop and I'm trying to open up 600 donut shops
Yeah.
across the country and go public with it and fucking
IPO.
everybody's trying to do that.
Right.
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 That's right.
That's true.
So now, if
It's
you
a
go out,
crowded
you go
market.
drive down to the corner, bro. There's a Taco Bell, a Starbucks,
Yeah,
a Louisiana, a Popeyes fried chicken. There's 6 gas stations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, shit's everywhere. It's a Smart and
On
Final. this
every
and that,
corner, yeah.
everywhere, bro.
Every
Yeah.
corner.
So
Yeah.
all that real estate is starting to take up all these towns, all these cities. It's pushed everything else out. That's the primary workforce now.
That's true. And also, there's because so that means business competition is heavy.
That
Right.
means they're trying to sell us shit everywhere.
But that means they're underselling each other and fucking right.
Absolutely.
So
That's
where
why there's a 39-cent menu.
right.
Yeah,
So how the fuck
And here's the other thing I want to say right now. I've been wanting to say this since we started the podcast.
go?
If there's a fucking 39, if we're in 2022 and there's a 39-cent
Yeah,
menu,
they're
at the
losing.
route we're going, right? Dude, in 10 years,
No
there'll
wonder
be
it's
like a
plastic.
1 penny burger.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
That will be made
they'll
out of
actually
plastic.
pay you
Right.
to come in and get their burger.
Right.
Eventually, they're going to be like, what are you going to do when there's the 1 penny burger wars? It's 2 burgers for a penny. I mean, that's not that far at the rate we're going
There's
to. There's
no
going to be
way.
nickel
How
burgers.
can there be any?
You went all the way back down to 1935. Now there's nickel burgers again.
Right. How could there be any nutritional value in the penny burger?
What is the penny burger?
The penny
It's
burger?
2 for a penny.
It's
now.
all recycled styrofoam.
So what I'm saying is like,
In the
at what
form
rate
of a
are they?
burger.
Right.
I mean, how many
flavored
cows
styrofoam.
are they fucking
Cows?
killing? You're right. Yeah, there's not even the
Cows?
one. Now there's like 1% cow.
Right, cow
and
hair.
the rest of it's
There's
filler.
like 1 cow hair
Because
in
you
it.
got to meet these fucking 2 fucking.
Giant fucking blender just blending a bunch
If
of
the-
garbage.
I mean, they're giving you
down
the
into
free
this-
soda, the 2 tacos for 99 cents. Now it's 59 cents. Now it's 39 cents.
Right.
In a couple years, it's
Right.
going to be like 10 cents.
Right.
You get 2
For
like,
everything.
Right.
everything.
There's going to be health surgeon warnings about your kidneys. You
Meanwhile,
got one
the
fucking
gas is fucking going to be fucking $100 a
bucks.
gallon.
Right. $100 a gallon, but you got to
Throw in 2 burgers for
and
you.
1 cent burger.
You buy our gas, we
right.
throw in 2 burgers.
But don't
and a
eat the
soda
burger
for 'em.
near a flame because it's flammable.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. To burn your face
Yeah,
off.
don't smoke. when
Right.
you eat
Don't
the burger.
smoke. Right. You're fucking right, dude.
I mean, where are we going with this thing?
Jesus fucking Christ, man. I'm scared to go outside now. God damn it, Pablito. What's the answer?
Fuck,
Achy,
man.
breaky heart?
Man.
Jesus.
Pablito, what's going on right
Oh,
now
yeah.
with you? What are you working on?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on,
Tell
man.
us what's going
Save
on, man.
America.
I mean, just right now, I'm just trying to get in travel mode. I got to go to Mexico City and,
Yeah.
and just rekindle a bunch of relationships out there when it comes.
How long are you going to be out there?
Probably like a week, you know.
Where
Just
you-
to start, you know.
How does Pablito do Mexico City? I mean,
Yeah.
let's not fuck around.
I want to
Let's
go
get
travel
real,
to Mexico
dude.
with
Yeah.
Pablito,
Yeah,
man.
no.
Like, are you driven everywhere?
Yeah, so I mean, we're
Come
most
on.
likely I'll go and you know, probably stay at the Ritz.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have a driver, you know what I mean?
Oh, Blue Eyes will drive you. If you pay for him to fly down there, he'll drive you wherever the fuck
That's
you
too
want to.
crazy there, man. It's like traffic over there is just
Yeah, you
it's-
can't drive there,
Yes,
bro.
I've never seen anything like it in my life. I would never drive there, you know what I mean? It's
Do you,
just-
is there going to be fine cigars involved?
perhaps, you know what I mean? But they have
kinds of cigars.
Yeah, they have everything there. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So just go and just make rounds. You know, just have meetings for agencies, actor and actress agencies there.
Nice.
I'm meeting a couple of this actress. I forget what her name. She has several million followers. Big actress there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the actors and actresses in Mexico City want gigs and want to be able to do things here and make moves here in LA. I mean, this is the epicenter. This is the entertainment capital of the world.
There's nothing like Latin
Exactly.
actresses.
So I'm
brother.
going to go down there and just talk to friends that I know manage groups out there, and Jerry and I had an office out there for a little while, and we made our rounds out there. I took him out there with me. He loved it. He didn't want to come home.
I bet.
Yeah. So he had a good time. But just going over there and just come back with just a bunch of business.
What are you looking to? I mean, when you go to Mexico City, is there a restaurant where you're like, I'm fucking hitting that restaurant when I go?
Well, it's funny. I'll go down there and I would hit I could do it here, but the fact that they have one there and it's the same thing, you know what I mean? Exact same thing.
Yeah.
I like to go to the Palm when I'm down there.
Really?
Yeah. I like to.
What do you eat at the Palm? What's your move?
I get like a Gigi salad to start with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just get things ready.
Yeah, and then I'm on like a meat and potatoes kind of guy, you know what I mean? I'm not too picky. I just get a little filet and some mash and
when you get your filet, like what's the Pablito style of cooking? Like
medium well.
Right, little pink, little bit, not too
not-
crazy. You don't need it raw.
Nah.
Not trying to prove anything to
Yeah,
anybody.
no.
Not trying to get a stomach worm.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, there used to be a restaurant here in town that we used to live at, literally, and I would put it in the kind of Palm kind of category, but they closed them down. You know what I mean? One was in Santa Monica, but we used to hang out at the one here in LA religiously.
Right.
And it's funny because it was me and Toker from the Brown side, and we'd be in there having breakfast, and OJ's lawyers, the dream team would be sitting next to us having
No shit.
breakfast, or we'd be in there having breakfast, and Quincy Jones would be having breakfast.
What does he do? Does he do like a French toast thing, Quincy Jones? What's he all
I
about?
wasn't really
Blueberry
tripping
pancakes?
off. Probably eggs Benedict or something he was having. I don't know. We weren't even,
Right.
Was there one in downtown and one in Santa Monica?
Yeah, it was the Pacific Dining Car.
Oh yeah, I've been there. I had
And
a steak there back in my
we
meat days.
would eat there like 2-3 times a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We knew the Mater D. We had our own spot in the back.
Right.
I mean, we were heavy with that place. You know what I mean? And we ate everything there. I mean, a lot of people don't know that they have like chilaquiles on the menu. You know what I mean? But they're not on the menu. You know what I mean? But you can go
You
and
got
order
it.
stuff like that. But they'll be the best. Like chilaquiles are like Bon Appetit magazine, but authentic. Because you got the people in the back making everything.
Right.
Yeah, but I love that place. The best breakfast in the world. I mean, that whole menu was just,
Why do so many Chicanos and Mexicans make the best cooks? Why? Why are they the best chefs?
I'm sure it's just, traditionally, you know what I mean? A lot of their folks are just, just incredible cooks, you know what I mean?
I just
grandmothers, aunts, and, I know a lot of guys that could really cook as well.
Right.
They'll cook you a feast, And it's all about, to me, it's all about being authentic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing watered down, you know what I mean? Just, the real deal.
I think it's also attention to detail, work ethic.
For sure.
That's why your best roofers are Mexican. That's why your best carpenters are Mexican. That's why your best cooks are like. You want to start looking at it from a big scale. It's because of the work ethic, man. They learn to do something, they do it right because they've, it's like, well, maybe like you're saying, authentic. They put more into it than just, there's like they want to do it right, man. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of it has to do with pride. I think there's a lot of pride that goes along with it, bro.
Right. They're not just fucking punching a clock. This is them.
Because you got to think, bro, there's people that have a reverse pride that I can't be a dishwasher. I can't mop a floor. But in a different culture, if that's what you're going to do, you're going to do it right.
Right.
Right? Think
Yeah.
about it like that. Like people that aren't tripping on like what I'm doing, this is what I do, so I'm going to do it right.
Right.
That's pride. And I think that there's a lot of pride in that. Like there's a lot of pride in it all. And I think that it comes off in restaurants and cooks, and they're more efficient, and just I think that's why, I think it's like that with a lot of things, man.
I just, in all of the various restaurants that I've been in,
Sure.
right? And I look at that kitchen and I'm like, man, there's mostly Latin people in that kitchen. No, man, it doesn't matter what fucking it's Chinese.
I was just gonna say it could be the best Chinese restaurant in LA.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Right. And then I was like, fuck it. And I married a Guatemalan woman. She doesn't cook at all.
And it's funny because I'm in Mexico all the time.
Yeah.
And, a lot of, unfortunately has to do with just necessity because like Luck says, if you do it right, if you're going to be like, let's say you're going to be the, cook or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to be the best cook.
Right.
They go in there with that mentality that, if I'm the best cook, I'm going to get that job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going
Right.
to move up.
Right.
And I'm going to go, you know what I mean? It's just, I just got to keep just.
Ambition.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Or I got to keep this job.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
gotta
you
be
can't-
the
you don't
best.
have
the
a
next
cushion.
guy
I gotta
beat
be
me
the
out.
best at it. Whatever I
Right.
decide to do, dishwasher, waiter, maitre d', bartender, I gotta be the best.
Nobody's
at
going to beat me out of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's prideful too.
It is. But it's also
A necessity in a way.
but dude,
Because
to me
everybody
that's
sends
the
money home.
that's
Right.
Everybody
Yeah, you
sends
see that,
money
bro?
home.
I
There
do
you go.
You gotta send money home.
Yep,
man.
right.
You got
Everybody's just
family
sending
back
money
home.
I know guys that have lived here 20 years,
Yeah.
living in a garage.
Right.
But
Right.
sending their family, they got thousands of dollars at home waiting for them. They're going to open up a pool hall.
Right.
They're going to open up a taco stand.
yeah.
They're going to
Right,
buy
right.
some land and grow some papaya, whatever, right?
Yes.
But they're living, frugally here,
Making the fucking.
sending the money, all the
Right.
money home. So when they go home, they're retiring with few businesses and putting their kids through school the whole night. I know guys have been doing that here for years.
Yeah.
Working their asses off and
In
just-
a 2-bedroom apartment,
Yep.
6 guys.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
real shit.
Yeah.
Don't go out womenizing. Don't
No,
drink. Don't smoke.
no,
don't do
no.
drugs. Nothing. Send all their money home.
Yep.
Right.
Work 2 jobs.
Because that's where
Yep.
that's where the opportunity and the value is,
Yeah.
and to set themselves
Yeah.
up for life.
And when they go home, everyone's gonna be like this. It's them now
Right.
because they have it all. You know what I mean?
I mean, I just
A lot
feel
of people
like,
don't do that. I don't know any. I don't know any of my the people that grew up here doing that. You know what I mean?
I can tell you in the family that I married into, the mother-in-law coming up all the way still to this very day, uncles, aunts, money gets
They
sent
send
out.
money. That's just part of
It's
how it goes
mandatory,
down.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's mandatory.
And I'm even hip to some of the conversations that go on because back in the old country, to them it seems like it's so easy to make money here, but they're not here. They don't see how hard the struggle really is.
You know, it's funny you say that because a lot of family, they butt heads because they're there just. It's easy to go collect every week, hit the MoneyGram every month. And
Right.
It's easy to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But like you say, a lot of people are here busting your ass. You got to do overtime. You got to do this.
It's all
You know, you
racist
can't-
shit you
yeah,
gotta deal
yeah.
with, everything.
Everything. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of families go through that and be like, look, man, I've been sending family money for 24 years and I can't even get a thank you or
Right, and then
You know what I
they
mean?
see a house here, and then
Yeah.
and over there they're like, "Oh, it just magically happens." They're like, "No, man, I've been grinding. And by the way, I got a fucking crazy loan. I got to continue to work." Anyway,
Yeah, man.
fuck Pablito, man, I love this guy,
Pablito,
the man, El Rey.
you got anything you need to plug? Anything that these listeners need to know before we
Yeah.
go?
I mean, just not really. Just just out here, just
Man, I want
trying to put, all these deals together. Lux, it's a huge grind, never-ending grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
As the deals start coming,
I got right now. I was just offered a piece of Katy Perry has this animation movie coming out called Melody.
Melody.
And
Sounds like it already
that-
has the.
that and then I just recently put the Griselda Blanco story on the table
Yeah.
with her son.
Yeah.
They want me to go to Miami and sit down with them and see what that's
I
all
gotta
about.
do what Pablito does. He soft sells his these awesome projects. Oh, I got this little thing.
I mean,
Love
just
the
to-
Griselda thing.
yeah, no, the Griselda thing.
Going to Miami.
They wanna. They got a book and
Yep.
and they
Great
have
story.
they have a
Yeah.
and it's from the kid's mouth. There's been a couple stories that have been put out already, but the ultimate one is really coming from the kid.
Right.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've been kind of just tossing that around. I got to get out there. I got to travel a few places in the next duration to go try to figure a few things out. But just trying to keep busy, man. Same old, same old.
Just got a few.
As you
massive
start
projects.
knocking them out, bro, start coming in and talking about them with us.
No,
Let us help
He's
you
a humble
promote.
dude.
Nah,
This
nah.
guy so
I-
humble.
I would
Or
love
when
to,
we're
man.
ready to start promoting it, let us help you.
Or whatever you guys got going, man. Whatever I could do for you guys.
Listen, I'm gonna go down to
Consider
Mexico
it done,
City. We're
yo.
having breakfast down there, you and me. Let's
Oh,
go.
we got things
You
to
would-
do.
you
We
would-
got things to do.
you
We
would
need to
love
start
that.
staying a little more on point, me and you, Pablito.
Yeah, no, really, that's real.
Yeah, for
real
real,
talk.
dude.
No, real talk. Real
Because
talk.
there's a bunch of stuff right under our nose
Yeah, no, for
that we
sure.
just haven't fucking moved on.
Yeah, and we just gotta just sit down and just figure it out. That's
Yeah, yeah.
it.
That's it, man. Pablito,
I love this guy.
thanks for checking in a
No,
little
thank
bit.
you guys.
No,
man.
this man
I
right
appreciate
here
you
is
guys,
a
man, seriously.
solid
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it's
Thank
our
you
guy
guys.
right here.
Thank you guys,
Family right here.
Yeah, enjoying myself every
Family.
time I come out here,
I
man.
love
We can
this
just
guy.
Can we
We
go
can
out
go
and eat?
on
Can we
and
go
on
out
and
and eat
on.
soon?
Come on, man.
anytime, man, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Serious. Let's go crazy.
We'll
Let's
go
just
to
go nuts.
wherever you
Put a
guys want,
napkin in
man.
our shirts
Yeah,
and
man.
just go fucking nuts.
Let's go eat
We'll
some.
go
Yeah.
to, go to,
You pick it. I'm down.
I'm
I'll eat
blind-
meat. I'll eat
we'll
meat.
go to Dantana's or something. You know?
Yeah, some filet mignon
yeah.
meatballs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll go do whatever you guys want, man.
Get some
So-
fucking roasted green.
I got it. Let's go.
Hey, come on. No, we got it.
Yeah,
Forget
let's
it.
go,
Come
yeah.
on. Least we could do.
No, for
Huh?
sure, man.
On the house.
On the house.
On
Go ahead.
the
What you
house.
got? What you got?
Ovanda Bona LLP. We wear braids to court. Let the tomahawks fly. The best legal representation that money can buy.
That's right.
Sean, what
Come
you
on,
got,
Sean.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I got.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sean at movemental.media. That's right. Sean at movemental.media for all your
Yes,
audio
sir.
and podcasting
Yes.
needs.
Yeah.
Don't
Yes,
forget,
sir.
sirs.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Listen up.
Yeah.
Listen up. Hardluckshow.com. Hardluckshow.com.
Hardluckshow.com.
Yes.
Remember
Yes.
it. Learn it. Live it. Know it.
Know it.
Live it.
Know to listen
Always.
to the show. Monday, Wednesday.
Monday.
Always.
Always.
Always. Hey, guys. www.supermaxhardware.com.
Yes.
That's right.
Right.
Pick up some gear.
Come on.
And
For
at
sure.
Cookies SF.
Big burn.
Okay, at Cookies SF, burn the whole family over there.
Yeah.
Cookies, we're about to release fall too. Check
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
and see that?
You see that?
Vibes. You understand me? Vibes. Get your vibes on. We only smoke vibes over
Do you
here.
understand?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the Hard Luck Show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Esteban
Pablito.
Oreo.
Thank you, guys.
Esteban Oreo. So
Yes,
and
Esteban.
thank you,
Big
Pablito,
shout
my
out to
boy.
Esteban.
Look
Thank
out.
you, Lux.
Yeah.
By the way.
Come
Get
on.
out here.
Appreciate you guys.
Come on.
Peace.
You guys are the truth.
Woo.